karibuni sana to this very event. We have the programs with us. There are some QR codes as well, so if you want to check it out, please do. So this event is where climate meets courage. This event is where innovation meets inclusion and conversations meet commitments. Please keep in mind those very words, because for us, by the end of this session, we want to see conversations around inclusion, conversations around innovation, conversations around commitments from ourselves. Having said all those very many words or not, my name is Cecilia Mwangi. I have the pleasure of being your MC for today. I hope I look as lovely as you guys are looking. And yeah, I think we can start us off now. So today we'll be having conversations around the theme climate change and the struggles for vulnerable communities. This theme reminds us that climate change is not just an environmental issue, but it's a human issue. It's an issue about equity, and it's a call for our collective action. These dialogues that we'll be having today, because we have a series of panel discussions, and I hope we can adhere to time. We are bringing together over competition, and solutions over speeches. Let's see if you got that right. So collaboration over competition, action over intention, and solutions over speeches. Let's see. The first one is? Oh my. Who wants to give it a shot? Anyone? Just have your hand up and the mic will come to you. Yes. Good, sir. The first one should be?
Action over competition.
Fantastic. The second one is? Yes. Far right. Yep.
The second action over intention.
Action over intention. And the last one is? Oh, we're having only gentlemen. Yeah, please go.
Solution over speeches.
Yes, so to the very least, if you're a panelist, we are no longer doing a lot of speeches, just a lot of solutions for us in this room. So let's learn, let's connect, let's laugh a little along the way, and then okay. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So I want to recognize a special group of people who have made this extra special for us. And not saying that if you're not on this list, you're not special to us, you're very special. But for us, we wish to recognize this group of people for your financial support, for your technical expertise, because this has been made possible courtesy of you. Thank you very much. KCB Foundation, Revitalize Conservation, Kenya Climate Ventures, Zamzam Foundation, Seedballs Kenya, thank you for your in-kind support, as well as Revitalize Conservation. We have some very nice gift hampers for you guys, so stay tuned and stay all the way through. I foresee UNDRR, AFDB, CBM Global, FAO Kenya, WIRE, Family Group Foundation, IRC, and people giving us these amazing services on the screens, your very nice photos. Switch Media, Asanteni Sana, ICHA, and Kenya Red Cross for this. So without further ado, I wish to welcome the first session. We will have key speeches or opening remarks We will have the first panel discussion, that is adaptation, resilience building, and anticipatory action, followed closely with refugees, internally displaced persons, climate migrants, humanitarian response sessions. And then we'll have a session on inclusion and equity in climate action, which is looking at children and indigenous communities. Then we'll break for lunch and have climate financing, loss, damage, and accountability, and then innovations, partnerships, global climate commitments, and then we will close the day at that particular point. Feel free to network, feel free to know what each other person is doing within their spaces, and we'll make this easier for you. So, having said all that, I wish to welcome our first speaker. For each speaker, because of time, allow me to limit your time to 3 minutes maximum. We will have the KCB Foundation, Ms. Vivian Atieno, who is the Senior Manager Communications. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I'll make my speech very short. You said it's 3 minutes? Fantastic. It's a great honor to join you for this important dialogue under the theme of At the Brink, Climate Change and the Struggle of Vulnerable Communities. This theme captures the reality we face every day, communities on the edge of survival, battling the compounded challenge of poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. Has evolved into a leading development partner, aligning its work with 14 of the 17 SDGs. Our focus areas are on education. I'm sure you've heard of our KCB scholarships. Enterprise development. I'm sure you've heard of Tujiajiri program, as well as environmental stewardship and philanthropy, which reflects our conviction that social impact and environmental protection must move hand in hand. As the climate crisis deepens, we have strengthened our commitment to environmental stewardship. We are facilitating access to clean cooking energy by installing the LPG systems in schools across Kenya at an investment of approximately 83 million shillings. This has reduced reliance on firewood, cut emissions, and improved air quality for students and teachers. We also champion conservation by supporting the protection of Kenya's critical ecosystems, including water towers, which sustain millions of lives. Our impact is amplified through strategic collaborations with partners across various sectors, including high school, TVET institutions, government agencies, NGOs, and community-based organizations. These partnerships ensure that our programs remain inclusive, resilient, and scalable. Through high schools, we engage early to nurture a culture of learning and innovation among young people. Our work with TVET institutions focuses on equipping the youth with practical skills that open pathways to employment and entrepreneurship. Collaboration with the government agencies also allow us to align our initiatives with national development goals, ensuring both sustainability and scale. Partnerships with NGOs also enable us to tap into shared resources and expertise, fostering innovative solutions to complex social and environmental challenges. At the community level, engagement with local organizations provides critical insights that make our programs more relevant and responsive to the people that they serve. Today, the KCB Foundation programs directly impact over 500,000 households. And each of these stories reflects our belief that prosperity and sustainability are not opposing goals. Rather, they are two sides of the same coin. By investing in people and protecting the planet, we are laying the groundwork for a future where every individual can thrive. Today, as we deliberate on how to protect the vulnerable communities in the face of climate change, let us remember that our collective future depends on our shared action. At KCB Foundation, We remain steadfast in our commitment to be a catalyst for change, empowering lives, and protecting ecosystems and advancing inclusive growth. As I close, I'd like to extend my deepest appreciation to the government, Kenya Red Cross Society, the International Center for Humanitarian Affairs, Switch Media, I think I saw them somewhere, and to everyone who was involved in putting together this timely conversation that without a doubt offers solutions and the proactive steps we all need to take the address and the challenges we continue to face due to climate change. And I only managed to remember 2 of the phrases. And you said collaboration over competition and action over intention. And on that note, thank you all, and I wish us all a fruitful deliberation. Thank you.
We can do better in terms of applause. Thank you very much, Ms. Vivian, and thank you for remembering the catchphrases. So I will be referencing those catchphrases as we go. So thank you for that reminder. Allow me to welcome Mr. Eric Kimani. Mr. Eric Kimani is the board chair, Kenya Climate Ventures. Karibu sana.
Thank you, MC. Please don't set the clock until I start speaking, because to compress 20 minutes to 3 minutes is something is a tall order. My name is Eric Kimani, and the best way to introduce myself is to ask you to just go to Google and Google the name. But I will say one thing to us. If you have a moment, try and look for a speech entitled Personal Branding. Many of us have become very poor personal brands because of timekeeping. I was here at 8. If you are not here at 8:30, you are doing very poorly in your life. Witness events erode livelihoods, displace families, deepen poverty. The most vulnerable, our women, our children, refugees, and those in fragile environments, bear the heaviest burden. Climate change is not just an environmental crisis, it is a justice crisis. It amplifies the inequality and tests our systems of governance, of humanitarian frameworks, and our shared humanity. So how do we get ready? Let me pose 2 questions. Are we investing enough, not just in response, but in readiness? How do we ensure that those who are most affected by climate change become the architects of their own resilience? To truly support vulnerable communities, we must move beyond empathy to innovation and investment. What is our role as KCV, Kenya Climate Ventures? We are proud to play a catalytic role. We are a specialized climate fund manager and impact investor. We provide patient, tailored capital to early and growth stage enterprises, delivering climate-smart solutions in underserved markets. Those are arid and semi-arid, refugee regions, and rural and peri-urban economies. But finance alone is not enough. We pair capital with business growth support, ensuring our investees goes up to scale, create jobs, and transform local economies. I want to speak about a quick milestone about KCV. In September of this year, KCV became Kenya's first licensed climate-focused fund manager certified by the CMA, the Capital Markets Authority. This milestone strengthens our ability to mobilize capital at scale for enterprises tackling Kenya's most pressing climate adaptation challenges. So what is Kenya Climate Ventures Investment Fund, or CV? It's a 25 million blended fund dedicated to accelerating climate resilience, with 60% of the money renewable energy, climate smart agriculture, renewable energy, climate smart agriculture, and financial. Our portfolio includes 3 very well-known organizations: Sunken Limited in clean energy, LaFord Limited in inclusive green finance, Hydroponics Africa doing climate smart agriculture, and I had the honor to visit all 3 last year. What is our impact over the last 9 years? We've impacted over 501,000, supported over 3,300 MSMEs, increased annual revenues by 37%, enabled 271 institutions to access clean energy, thus saving our trees, saved 60% in heating and boiling costs, and installed 13.8 megawatts of electricity. We have reduced 527,000 tons of CO2 emissions, recycled 4.2 million tons of agricultural waste, and institutionalized $3.5 million revolving risk capital facility. And finally, we've leveraged $19.9 million in follow-on capital and co-financing. So how do we move from dependency to dignity? These investments prove that patient-blended capital can unlock climate resilience and economic opportunity, even in contexts once viewed purely as humanitarian or at a humanitarian lens. When we empower refugee communities, we move them from dependency to dignity, from vulnerability to resilience. So what is our call to action? We invite development partners such as KCB, the African Development Bank, and others who are here today or not here to join us. Commit capital to our fund, and together we can impact community. True climate justice will only be realized when adaptation finance reach the front lines, where vulnerability meets ingenuity and where communities are ready to act but lack the resources. Our collective task as we gather at this pre-COP dialogue, let us ensure that adaptation and anticipatory action are not afterthoughts, but anchors our climate strategies. We must invest in these areas. In closing, at Kenya Climate Ventures, we are committed to working with humanitarian organizations, the private sector, the development partners to unlock capital, innovation, and partnerships needed to deliver climate resilience at scale. Let us transform good intentions into measurable impact, ensuring that no community is left behind. If the front lines of climate change are where the pain is greatest, then surely that is where our action must be strongest. Let us move forward with courage, collaboration, and compassion to build a future that is not only climate resilient, but also inclusive and full of possibility. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eric. Key take-homes for all of you. He started by personal branding. So all of us who are later than Mr. Eric, please go and check out the personal branding session. But thank you very much for your remarks. Allow me to move on swiftly to the next speaker. We will have Mr. Edwin Osundwa. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Mr. Edwin Osundwa is the country director, CBM Global. Karibu sana.
Good morning, all. How are you? How are you? Three reflections. When I was preparing to come and make my presentation, I thought about the words that characterize this discussion, and I picked 3 that are important. I picked vulnerability, I picked inclusion, and I picked practical action. As CBM Global, we are a non-governmental international organization that promotes disability inclusion. In our work, these 3 words define what we do with our communities, and hence my focus on the 3. When we talk about vulnerability, it, at a superficial level, means that there are people who essentially are on the margins and are impacted most by climate change. But I have a slightly different angle to vulnerability. When a climate crisis hits, everybody becomes vulnerable. The extent of vulnerability will obviously differ, but the reality is that everybody becomes vulnerable. In a community setting, you will have a mother with a child who is breastfeeding, but given a climate crisis, that mother might have to stop breastfeeding their child. You will have a person with disability who is hit by the climate crisis. And because of that challenge, they may find it difficult to continue with their social connection and social engagements. You'll find a young person who is thriving in their business, but because of the climate crisis, their income, their source of income is affected. And so, when we talk about vulnerable communities, we must underpin that with the individual characteristics, with the individual challenges that affect people. We must not generalize vulnerability, because if we do it that way, we get it wrong. That's why many times persons with disabilities have been homogenized, categorized as a group, and in effect, services and mitigation measures never reach them as individuals. Secondly, we've talked about inclusion. Inclusion is a good word. Everybody uses it nowadays. It remains a sticky and contentious word. There is inclusion at the level of participation, where people are invited, and the invitation is for the sake of information. People are invited, their opinions are sought, and that is all. there is inclusion which attempts to involve some people in the process of developing solutions which they want to see. As actors in this space, we must assess our interventions and ask if our inclusion of persons affected by climate crisis is at the level of their mere participation, or whether we are genuinely and meaningfully crafting solutions alongside those affected. Persons with disabilities often tell us that they are merely included. Talk does not always result into practical action. So, for those of us who participate in these forums, we need to bring examples of what we are doing out there. Those examples help us to inform others so that they can try, pilot, test, and innovate. In our case, as CBM Global, we are working with the Kenya Red Cross to take solutions together with local communities to generate good interventions. I'll give one example. In Turkana, we have, together with the local communities, worked on a cash transfer program which ensures that persons with disabilities actually benefit from the cash transfers in a manner that is dignified. Initially, the cash transfer program there was devices, the personal assistance, if cash transfer programs are to help or facilitate their adaptation to climate change. Therefore, these three words, marginalization, inclusion, and practical action.
Thank you, everyone, and very good morning. I feel that I'm part of the group that are delayed, so many excuses for that. But sometimes our personal time is in the hand of toddlers that decide to throw temper tantrums in the morning, and we have to respond to that. I'm Rui Oliveira, incapacity to other way than, rallying, other way than, rallying as a society and coming together in all fronts to address these issues. So I have two messages. This is a nexus approach to addressing the climate issue. It's not an anticipatory action issue alone. It is a readiness issue, as it was mentioned. It is a disaster risk reduction issue. It is a climate adaptation issue, hopefully with layered disaster financing mechanisms. And it's a humanitarian diplomacy issue and an advocacy issue. Often this field, this large field of climate, is today siloed by different technical expertise. No, we need to come together and work around these all fronts to make sure that we are able to enter in this collaboration versus the competition that you've highlighted in the beginning. The second message is, yes, we need innovation. And there are plenty of good examples in Kenya about innovation in face of climate and adaptation. We will continue to do that. We need it. We need to protect communities in advance of disasters, and we are in the front line again of supporting these communities, reducing and mitigating the impact of disasters. But we are not able to be fully successful if fully included, thank you, Mr. Edwin, in the process of driving this agenda. I again salute Kenya Red Cross, KCB Foundation, the ICHA, and all partners for this fantastic initiative. And I hope that on the lead up to COP30, we'll be able to come together strongly as a Kenyan society to set a position that will impact not only Kenya but the world. So thank you very much again. All right, and I'm the final speaker, and with this, I declare the forum open. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, Huri. Okay, fantastic. I'm sorry I did ambush Huri, but thank you very much for opening the forum. Oh, good. Yeah, thank you very much. Switch, we are moving on to photo session. Where do you need us to stand? Kindly, quick guidance. Here? Here outside? Here? All of us? Okay, fantastic. Please, I hope you carried your best suit, you having the best heels, you've done the best makeup, because we are asking all of us to quickly just come at the front. Some can come up here and down here, so then we do one quick photo session, and then we can move on to the first panel discussion. So kindly, please come to the front. Outside? Oh, we all go outside? Okay, fantastic. Please, let's follow the nice gentleman at the back. Please, let's all go outside for a quick photo session, then come back, and we can start the first panel discussion. Asanteni.
Ninio, iko sawa. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello. But it's the same.